Welcome to Smart Remarks, land of the free, home of the brave, and those who shoot at them. So I'm at the gym this morning and overheard a conversation in the wake of our latest mass shooting I thought was pretty interesting, pretty typical. On the one hand, you had an older guy saying, look, obviously something has to be done. And a younger tattooed guy says, no, you can't take away people's guns without taking away their rights, and bad guys will always find a way to get a gun. The older guy says, well, what if it was one of your kids killed in a mass shooting like the one at the Washington Navy Yard? And the younger guy says, I like to think that even if it were my kid killed, I'd still support gun rights. I'd blame the shooter, not the gun. And I thought, this is a totally typical of where we're at as a country on the issue of gun control, which is to say, nowhere. It's the same old arguments. It's the same old thing. We're talking past one another. In the meantime, people continue to die. The Washington Navy Yard shooting was the 6th mass shooting of the past 9 months. It's at least the 20th since Obama has become president, and there's going to be ever more. Because where guns remain easily available, where mental illness steeps in that particularly toxic American cultural stew, where anger and frustration and resentment and outrage boil over, some people are going to go get guns, and other people are going to die. And it's become clear that as a society, there's not a damn thing we can do to stop it. Well, there are things we could try. David Frum in the Daily Beast had some interesting suggestions this week. For example, saying that maybe everyone who buys a gun should be required to take classes and take a test and pass that test, just as is the case with driver's licenses. So check this suggestion out. Quote, individuals who are found to store their weapons unsafely could forfeit for a time their ownership rights. But here we go, stepping on the Second Amendment, right? Because if you've got a gun that you want to use to defend yourself from the bad guys, but you keep it unloaded and locked in a safe, what good is it when a bad guy breaks in? No, you need to have it loaded and in your nightstand where your little 4-year-old nephew could find it and blow his brains out, as so often happens in the good old US of A. And I gotta say, there's no guarantee that new laws would prevent mass shootings, but most rational, successful societies would at least attempt some sort of compromise solution if there was a chance that it might have an effect. And we can't even do that. The pro-gun right is dug in. More and more Americans are skeptical of government in general, and the result is political sclerosis. Half of America at this point could pick up a gun and try to murder the other half, but no matter how much blood runs in the street, we can't or won't do anything about it. We are completely paralyzed on the issue of guns, and of course it's not just guns. We're completely paralyzed on the issue of climate change. We're paralyzed on the issue of Obamacare. Tea Party Republicans are basically vowing to shut down the government in an attempt to overturn it. Our political system has become incapable of addressing the greatest challenges of our time, and because of that, those challenges won't be addressed. When it comes to guns, we will have more mass shootings. This has become an integral aspect of America. You got your mom, you got your apple pie, you got your Chevrolet, you got your armed lunatics shooting up a movie theater or an elementary school. This is the way it is, America. And we should be so proud, don't you think? I like to think with every new mass shooting, I think this is the time when people are going to understand there's a need to do something. This is the time when the guys in the gym can come together and say, look, we have to have some sort of compromise. It hasn't happened yet, and I'm beginning to think it never will.